Jennifer Lopez 6-carat pink diamond ring wasn't just an engagement ring. It was the ring that changed the engagement ring industry. The prices of the pink diamonds went through the roof after that, raised like 30% or so, and other people wanted this diamond. And I started doing research for my previous video, and this video obviously appeared right away. But it was a lot of strange things about it, to be honest, when I started researching. First of all, what was the environment? It was back in 2002 when the Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez started dating. They were the trendiest, got engaged. It was the biggest power couple at the moment. Everybody was talking about them, the website and the magazines. They made a trend before the social media was even exist. Hard to believe, but in 2002 it didn't. They were getting tons of publicity. They were generating tons of content. And then the Ben Affleck proposed with this ring to Jennifer Lopez. Nothing shocking over here, despite this is the extremely expensive 6-carat pink diamond. The shocking thing is when they broke up, the ring stayed with the J.Lo. And an interesting thing is that they were fighting about the other things, about other financial aspects that was involved in their relationship, but not about extremely expensive ring. And according to the United States law, engagement ring is the conditional gift that's supposed to be given back to the Ben, but it wasn't. It was given back to the Jennifer Lopez, and she gave it back to the jeweler. And I was thinking, this is not a generosity act. We're talking about millions of dollars over here. Back then, for those money, you can buy a house in Malibu. You don't just give the house in Malibu back. So I start researching on that, and turns out most of those rings never actually bought. They are a very smart PR contract between the big jewelry brands and the celebrity. Because think about it. You give in the ring under the certain condition to the couple who's getting tons of publicity. As soon as they're going to put this ring on the finger or just propose in general, this ring is going to get tons of publicity, and the brand itself as well. So most of those rings were never actually purchased. They were either loaned or discounted, and something else had happened. So I went and dug deeper, and let me tell you a couple of interesting stories over here. When we see the celebrity showing the massive engagement ring with the massive diamond, we think about the love. We think that someone wants to give all they have to someone they love, and it's a symbol of love. In reality, in quite a lot of times, it's just the marketing. It's a marketing symbol, not a love symbol. So here's the way it works. Let's say the celebrity is wearing $2 million diamond, and there is a press release that goes with this diamond, which is specified what kind of diamond it is, who made it, who is the designer, and all of those things. No wonder when you're looking at those tabloids or the magazine, all of the Facebook posts, on Instagram posts nowadays, you see that the text is somewhat similar. That's because it's aligned with the marketing statement itself. Within hours after those tabloids and the social media picking up this information is spreads everywhere to tens of millions of people. As soon as people see these rings, they start searching. They literally typing into the search, pink diamonds rings, the J.Lo rings. Go ahead to the Google Trends and type in the latest celebrity engagement ring, and you will see the spike of the interest toward that specific engagement ring. What happened after that? The demand is growing tremendously for that ring, and people start buying those rings. Not necessarily in this specific spec, of course, because it's a $2, $5, $10 million ring, but something similar to it. Lots of the orders going to the ring maker, to the designer who actually made it, and a lot of orders, of course, going to the other brands who can mimic this design, but for the much affordable price point. And most importantly, the designer who made this original ring, or the jewelry brand, the jewelry house who made this engagement ring, gaining the long-term publicity. They gaining the additional prestige, they gaining reputation, because at the end of the day, they did, let's say, Jennifer Lopez ring, they did Paris Hilton ring. If we did those rings, we can make yours too. Pretty simple and pretty straightforward over here. Back to the J.Lo example over here. Before she was given with the pink diamond, they weren't trendy out there. Yes, some people would order it here and there, but it wasn't trendy at all. After her engagement, the demand for pink diamonds instantly skyrocketed, and the Harry Winston, the one who made this ring, was associating with the pink diamonds itself. So the pink diamonds and Harry Winston became sort of a synonym, if you will. It lasted for a while, and it lasted to this days. The pink diamonds is still very popular. At the same time, the engagement ring is not an exception and not the first one to do it over here. They just do it in a little bit more hidden way. At the same time, truth to be told, the engagement rings is not an exception over here. It's actually pretty well known in practice. Engagement rings just do it in a much more hidden, not straightforward way. For example, the red carpet, the Golden Globe, the Oscar at the end of the day, all of the jewelry you see out there, it's all loaned. And not for a day or a week, just for that evening specifically. It's a part of the look, same as the dress. As soon as the dress is put on a celebrity, everybody knows who made it and what kind of model it is. Any celebrity has an enormous amount of traction and enormous amount of following, and of course you want to capitalize on that. So you might ask, is all celebrities' engagement rings are free, just giving them for free? No, in reality not. Lots of them has the loans agreement with the jewelry companies. Some of them are pretty complex that specify where this ring is going to be worn, how many publicities this is going to get, and all of those kind of things, whether the celebrity is getting paid for wearing this or not. Some of those agreements disclose, some of them not. Also, those are loan cases. In some of the cases, celebrity is going to get this jewelry with a heavy discounts, sometimes with quite a bit of loss to the jewelry manufacturer itself. And in some of the times, celebrity is going to insist on buying this specific jewelry for the sentimental reasons. They want to get the ring for someone they truly and deeply love, and we will get to these examples a little bit later. Right now, let's just talk about a couple of examples within each category: the loan, discounts, and paid jewelry. First of all, about the loans. We already talked about the Jennifer Lopez ring. Of course, no one would tell you directly that it was loaned because it's probably an undisclosed agreement. But at the same time, same thing happened with the Paris Hilton 20-carat engagement ring. So back in 2018, she got 20-carat $2 million ring. It got everywhere. It got tons of publicity in magazines, on websites, like everywhere. And then it just disappeared. Most likely it was returned back to the jeweler and everybody's got happy. The Paris Hilton got her publicity. The jewelry maker got their publicity. Probably they also made everybody got exactly what they needed. And if you think about it, if you think how much money those brands are spending on advertising, to loan the ring is probably one of the best deals they can get in terms of the advertising, and return on investment over here is actually quite large. Next category is the heavily discounted engagement rings, and I want to talk about our president over here because that was actually quite an interesting case. Back in the days when he proposed to Melania Trump, he multiple times in multiple places, in the different interviews, he said that he bought this ring for $1.5 million from the Kraft Diamonds, and he was bragging a lot in the multiple places how much he paid for it. Although 2 years after, the Kraft himself said that the ring was never actually purchased. It was the PR agreement between the Trump, who has a lot of publicity, who has a lot of traction and following. More now, back in the days, he had a lot of traction too. So it was a PR agreement between them. He got this ring completely for free in exchange of PR. It wasn't loaned. It was actually given to him in exchange of the PR. So sometimes this happened too. And now let's talk about my favorite category, and that's fully paid engagement rings. And in my mind, if you are a celebrity and you're making a lot of money, it makes sense to buy your jewelry, especially sentimental jewelry, as an engagement ring. It's totally worth it. So the first one on the list is my favorite couple is the David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. And the favorite for a very simple reason, because they have 15 engagement rings. That's exactly how many rings David Beckham designed in collaboration with the different designers. That's how many pieces she has. I believe after each year they've been together. And very soon I'm gonna make the separate video about all of those rings because they do worth covering. They all unique and they all incredibly. The second ring is actually Kanye West engagement ring, the one that he gave to the Kim Kardashian, although I'm pretty sure he could have got mini loans or heavily discounted engagement rings. He actually bought his ring for her, so she didn't get it back or anything like that. She still owned this 20 carat for $4 million, 15 carat engagement ring, although I'm pretty sure he could have get a pretty good discounts with his traction and following and social media following, or he could have get the loan. But in fact, he actually bought this engagement ring. And the third one is the Kate Middleton ring. This one was fully paid by the royal family. And if this ring is ever going to hit the auction market, it's probably going to be the most expensive engagement ring out there, but just because of the story behind it. Currently, it's owned and worn by Kate Middleton, and we'll see what's going to happen after that with it. And lastly, I want to talk about the other controversial cases with engagement rings that exist out there. And it's quite an interesting story, so worth hearing. First one is the Naomi Campbell's engagement ring. Her engagement ring is quite interestingly disappeared from the yacht, as she claimed herself. She was back then dating with the Russian billionaire Vladimir Doronin. And as she said, someone stole this ring from the yacht. I have no idea who would be there enough to steal something from the Russian billionaire, and of course he's a legitimate billionaire, as all the Russian billionaires, who would steal anything from his yacht. You would never want to do that. Within an hour, you will be on the bottom of this ocean where this thing is just happened. So whatever happened with that ring, it's just disappeared and vanished. Interestingly enough, when they split, he filed the lawsuit in Europe against her because of the other asset disagreements. But I'm assuming this ring fraud wasn't the only one thing that happened between them. There was other things. Another interesting thing is about the Kim Kardashian engagement ring, the one that we just mentioned, that the Kanye West bought it for her. We are talking about this robbery in Paris kind of story. And the controversy is that the ring was stolen, but a bunch of other jewelry was left there. So for a lot of people, it seems like an insurance fraud, especially considering that the Kanye West had the financial problems back then, and those money would be sufficient in those struggles, but I guess we never know. And there are many stories actually like that, and they're quite interesting. And if they are interesting for you, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a couple of more of those videos for you. But what I want you to get from this video is that when you see those incredibly expensive engagement rings, quite often they are loaned or heavily discounted. It's usually quite a complicated PR deals between the jewelry producers and the celebrities themselves. There's a lot of details involved into that because, as I learned, there's the A category celebrities, there's B category celebrities, C, and so forth, depending on your traction, the following, and how trendy you are at the moment and everything. And you can fluctuate from one category to another. So, and if you are in A category, of course, you have much higher chances to get those expensive things for free and even being paid to wear them. And if you are in the C category, your deal is going to be different. It's just much more complex world than we see it on the surface. Let me know if you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.